For this project, I'm going to use 100% cotton. This is from Hobby Lobby. You can get your cotton obviously anywhere. You do want to use 100% cotton. And I'm going to use 2 strands of cotton together with a 7mm hook. So you take your 2 strands together, and when you're crocheting, it's just like anything else that you're crocheting with 1 strand, except you will be holding the 2 pieces together. So you just hold your 2 pieces the whole time together like that. We're going to do 2 different sizes. We'll just call them small and large, and we will start this project with a magic circle. So I do have a tutorial on my channel that's just the magic circle, and I will link that video in the description box if you just want to practice the magic circle. So hold your yarn towards you, and then bring it up and over and hold on to it. Take your hook, go under the one closest to your fingers, to your fingernails, go under, and then pull the other strand through, twist it up, and then go back into that and make a slip knot with it. You should have your tail sticking out, and when you pull on your tail, you should be able to tighten up the circle. And then this is the part from your skeins of yarn. So when you crochet with this, you want to keep your fingers on that extra loop right there so that it doesn't come apart. And we will start, well, first we need to chain another one, so you have 2 chains on your hook. And then we're going to do 9 half double crochets inside the magic circle. So yarn over, go through your hole, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops. Well, you have a total of 6, but you have 3 from each loop, and it doubles. Yarn over and pull through. It's a half double crochet. I also have a tutorial that is just on the half double crochet, and I will link that in the description box as well. So now we need to do 8 more half double crochets. You can tighten up your loop, your magic circle loop, if it's getting too loose. Okay, that's 9 double crochets. Let's just verify that. Okay, when you get your 9 half double crochets on there, you will take your tail and pull it all the way till your magic circle closes up and your stitches are next to each other. And then you will close it with a slip stitch. And you're going to slip stitch into your first stitch that you made right there. And I'm going to pull my tail over so that I can work it in there. Okay, that is the slip stitch, and that should make a complete circle. Now we will do row 2. The small bowl cozy has a total of 9 rows. So row 2, we will chain 2. I'm going to make my tail a little bit shorter so I don't have as much to crochet in. So after you do your chain 2, we will do 2 half double crochets in every stitch going around. So you're going to start in the same stitch that you did your slip stitch in. So put 2 half double crochets there. And I'm going to put a stitch marker in that first half double crochet so I don't lose track and don't get it confused with the chain 2. Okay, so that was 1 half double crochet. Now I'm going to do another one. Now do 2 in every stitch as you go around. Okay, I've got 18 half double crochet stitches. Slip stitch to your top where your stitch marker is. Close that row up. That is the end of row 2. Now you will chain 2 and start row 3. For row 3, we will do 1 half double crochet in that same stitch where your slip stitch went, which is the first stitch in the previous row. And then you will do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and which is an increase stitch. So it's 1 half double crochet and then an increase stitch in the next one, and you will alternate that pattern all the way around. So the first stitch was a half double crochet, the second stitch is an increase, which is 2 half double crochets, and then a half double crochet stitch, increase, half double crochet, increase. Go all the way around doing that pattern. Your last stitch will be an increase stitch of 2 half double crochets. You should have 27 stitches. We're going to slip stitch to the first stitch in the previous row. If you have trouble remembering which one is the first stitch, just put your stitch marker in. Every time you start a row, put your stitch marker in the first stitch. Okay, that is the completion of row 3. We will now chain 2 and start row 4. And for this row, we will do a half double crochet in the first 8 stitches, and then we will do an increase stitch of 2 half double crochets in each stitch, and then do another 8 stitches with 1 half double crochet, and then do an increase. You repeat that all the way around. So your first stitch is going to be in the same stitch that you slip stitched in. Put your stitch marker if you need to. That's 2, 3. Okay, so that's 8 stitches. Now we will do an increase stitch. And then we'll do another 8 stitches of half double crochets and then an increase until we get to the end. Okay, and your last stitch will be an increase stitch. And then we will slip stitch. That is the completion of row 4. For row 5, you will chain 2. And we're going to half double crochet in 9 stitches and then do an increase and then 9 stitches and an increase and go all the way to the end. So continue in the same stitch that you did your slip stitch in. Do 9. That is the end of row 5, and you can see that it is starting to take a little bit of a bowl shape. So row 6, chain 2. We're just going to add another stitch in between our increase stitches. So we're going to do a half double crochet in 10, then do an increase stitch, half double crochet in 10 and increase. Keep doing that around. And always start in the stitch where your slip stitch was. And your last stitch will be an increase stitch. Then you will slip stitch to the first stitch in the same row, and that completes your row 5. It's really starting to look like a bowl now. Then we will chain 2. and then you will half double crochet in each stitch in all the way around, and you will do that for row 7, row 8, and row 9. So we do chain 2, then do a half double crochet around, and same as the other ones, you always start in the same stitch that you slip stitched in. So we have 3 rows left, and they will all be the same thing of a half double crochet in every stitch. This is the last stitch in row 7. Okay, slip stitch, chain 2, and repeat the same pattern. Half double crochets in every stitch all the way around for row 8. Okay, that's the end of row 8. The last row for the size small is row 9, chain 2, and do the same thing where you single crochet in every stitch going around. Okay, we're at the end of row 9, which completes the size small, and we will slip stitch, and then cut a tail. Then I will pull through, then I'm going to make a knot and weave in my ends. So the thing about using this cotton, if your bowl is not the same size that my bowl is that fits in here, you should be able to stretch it out and have, maybe if your bowl is shorter, and you should be able to mold it. The only thing it might not fit is if it's a whole lot smaller than this. So I like to have both of these the same size when I weave my tail in. Okay, weave your tail in on the inside. And that is your size small. And now I will show you how to make the size large. Okay, so to do our large size bowl, the first 6 rows are the same as the small. So follow the steps that you did for the first one. And then for row 7 is where it's going to be different. So the small bowl, row 7, 8, and 9 are just half double crochets in each stitch around with no increased stitches. But now we are going to do increased stitches for row 7. So chain 2, do a half double crochet in the first 11 stitches. I'm going to just continue to go into the same stitch as the slip stitch. Put my stitch marker there. Okay, that's 11 half double crochet stitches, and then we will do an increased stitch with 2 half double crochet, or 2 half double crochets, and then we will do another 11 stitches with half double crochet, then do an increase, and then 11, and then your last stitch will be an increased stitch. Okay, I did my last set of 11. Gonna do an increase stitch. Then I will slip stitch to the top first stitch in the row, then chain 2, and then you will do 12 stitches with 1 half double crochet, and then do an increase stitch, and then repeat that 2 more times. So 12 stitches with a half double crochet, an increase stitch with 2, another 12 with an increase stitch, and then another 12 with an increase stitch, and that will always go into the same stitch as your slip stitch. So do 12. Okay, I just did my last set of 12 stitches with a half double crochet, so I will do my increase in the last stitch, and then I will slip stitch. Now we will start row 9, so chain 2, and then do a half double crochet in the same stitch as the slip stitch, and we will do a total of 13, because we're just adding 1 each row. So do 13 half double crochets in the next, do one half double crochet in the first 13 stitches. Then do an increase stitch of 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch, and then do a half double crochet in the next 13 stitches, and then an increase stitch, and then the next 13 do a half double crochet, and then end with an increase stitch in the last one. Okay, this is my third set of 13 half double crochets and 1 increase, and then slip stitch. And now we're done with our increase stitches, and we're going to do the last 2 rows, so row 10 and 11, and you can count your rows like this if you lose track of where you're at. So the last 2 rows, chain 2, and do a half double crochet in every stitch, starting with the one where the slip stitch was, all the way around. 1 half double crochet for each stitch. Okay, and for the last row, row 11, chain 2, half double crochet in the same stitch, and half double crochet in every stitch all the way around to your slip stitch at the beginning. Okay, you get to the end, do your slip stitch to the first stitch and cut, tie off, and weave in your ends. I wanted to show you how my bowls fit into this. My small bowl is 4.5 inches across and the large one is 5.5, and it is about 2.5 and 3 inches tall. So for this particular size bowl, it will go all the way to the top. And if you can make 2 sets from the 2 skeins of yarn that you put together. So if you are following this pattern and you're not making it any bigger and you're using this size crochet hook, and you use you don't have to use this brand of yarn, obviously you can use any cotton, but this is 153 yards for one. So if your skein of yarn is 153 each, then you will be able to make 2 sets of a small and a large. And this is how much I had left over from the 2 skeins of yarn. So you can see there's not very much left at all. I probably won't even save this amount. So these make really good gifts, and when I store them in my drawer, I just stack them inside each other like that.